Hi and welcome to the Now Spinning group on Facebook. My name is Phil Aston and this is a retro review of an album that is one of my Desert Island discs. So this is my take on it. So I want to share not just what I think of the album, but how I came upon it and how it has meant so much to me over the years, really. And the album is by a guitarist called Tommy Bolin, and this is his solo album from 1975 called Teaser. Now, my journey to this becoming one of my favourite albums, a Desert Island disc, is actually quite a long one because I was not a fan of this guy at all. And the reason being, he replaced my hero, Ritchie Blackmore, for the album Come Taste the Band. So when Blackmore was leaving, I bought 24 Karat Purple, and I just thought it was over. Who was this guy called Tommy Bolin? I'd never heard of him. It meant nothing to me at all. Someone told me, oh, he's a jazz guitarist or something, but I'd never heard of Billy Cobham, although I'll come on to that in a few moments. It was actually after Purple had disappeared and self-combusted that actually I started to think about maybe I should investigate what it was. I think it was a copy of Sounds actually from 1976 when they reviewed Deep Purple, Made in Europe, Saraband by John Lord, and they also reviewed this album by Tommy Bolin called Private Eyes. And this is the one I bought first. And it was different. It made me think maybe I've got this quite wrong because the track Post Toasty was very good. And then I bought Come Taste the Band. I decided, I might be a huge Blackmore fan, but let's give this a go and, see what Come Taste the Band was like. I absolutely loved Come Taste the Band. I thought, what the hell have I been doing? And a friend of mine said, you've got to hear Teaser. You've got to hear Teaser by Tommy Bolin. It's just amazing. So I managed to get a copy on Atlantic Records and gave it a spin. And I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. This was a multi-talented guy. I had no idea, what he could do. There was tracks like The Grind, which is a straight-ahead rock track, Homeward Strut, which is probably one of the best jazz fusion tracks I've ever heard, with Jeff Porcaro on drums, Stanley Sheldon on bass, absolutely superb. The interplay of the guitar, is just absolutely brilliant. Dreamer, which features Glenn Hughes, although he's not actually credited, he's on there. Savannah Woman, which is pure jazz. Teaser, another great rock track, and some of the rhythms are just absolutely amazing. People is a reggae track. Marching Powder, more jazz fusion. Wild Dogs, a fantastic rock ballad, and Lotus, an absolutely fantastic track. I started playing this forever, and the mythology behind it was just brilliant, and I just absolutely love it. So I'll just show you this is the original Atlantic copy, so I'm just going to change the camera so you can see this more closely. So this is the original Atlantic label release from 1975. It's absolutely, it's this, 30 odd minutes of music on here that's absolutely stunning. I play this a lot. And as the legend that is Tommy started to grow, people started to wonder about what else was in the can. And one of the things that I think I started here about was a track called Crazed Fandango. And it's very hard again in the late 70s to get hold of things from tapes, or again it's so hard to share music. But people started talking about a track called Crazed Fandango, and it also around this time I started to think, what else has this guy done? And I reached back and actually bought this Billy Cobham Spectrum album, and this is the album that introduced me to jazz fusion, jazz rock, because of Tommy Bolin. And if you haven't heard Quadrant 4 on this, or Stratus, which Jeff Beck does quite a bit, you should listen to this. And it also then took me into samplers by this one called From the Nempora line, which is the label that released Teaser in America. And it introduced me to Jerry Goodman, Maharishi Orchestra, Stanley Clarke, Return to Forever, Jan Hammer, you know, absolutely brilliant stuff. And the other artist I then found was Alphonse Mouzon, Mind Transplant from '75. God, I'm not even forgetting that, you know, James Gang tracks, or Moxie, the album he also did. And that time, Tommy Bolin was on fire. Unfortunately, he was also heavily addicted to drugs, and so by the end of '76, he had left this planet. I managed to get hold of the copy of on the Empora Records, which is this one. I'll just switch over because I'm going to be showing you which versions to get probably. And the Empora Records, this is the American label. I was searching for a track called Crazed Fandango at the time, thinking this was an outtake from the teaser sessions, thinking it might be on here, and it wasn't. So many years later, as my search continued, this came out, which was the Tommy Bolin from the archives on the RPM label, run by Simon Robinson from the fan club, Deep Purple fan club, and you probably can't see that, I'm not sure, but Crazed Fandango was on there, and so I thought, well, this is it. This is where, you know, the kind of the outtakes from teaser might be, and I always wanted to get it on CD and teaser, and eventually it appeared. This is the original CD release of teaser on Empora Records. Now, whoever did the mastering on this wasn't very good. There's actually on the track teaser at the very end, it actually distorts, which I never noticed for a while, but actually when you listen to it, you can't unhear it once you've heard it distort. So it was never that ideal. But then I started hearing that there were other unreleased tracks, and so the next thing that came out was this, Tommy Bolin's, called The Ultimate. Look at the size of this box, everybody out there. Look at the size of this box. So what do you think's in here? Amazingly, there are 2 CDs in this box. Just 2. Because in the 90s, boxes were big, even if they didn't contain that much stuff. And this contains just one outtake from teaser called Brother Brother. But it was the only track on that 2-disc set that hinted again of all these missing tracks. This was a great box set, by the way. You can find it fairly, I'm going to say fairly easily, and then wish I hadn't, on eBay. I did see it on vinyl even, but it's, you know, this was put together with absolute love, you know, and so if you're a Tommy Bolin fan, you know, this is, you know, well worth getting. But waiting for the remastered copy of this, eventually we had Tommy Bolin Teaser Deluxe, which actually featured all the tracks not in the right order, and they're all kind of, they've all been remixed. And you notice that Wild Dogs, which was originally about 4 minutes long, is actually nearly 14 minutes long on this. Crazed Fandango's on there. It's good, but it wasn't. I just wanted a remastered copy. The next thing that appeared was Whips and Roses. I might have the order of this slightly off. And this, I don't know if it does the artwork for Tommy Bolin stuff. I wish they wouldn't use these Photoshop filters. And this has got some great tracks. Again, they're outtakes from that. And the mix on these is superb. So if you are a Tommy Bolin fan, you know, this is good. However, don't want to take up too much time for everybody here, but this is the one to get. This is the Definitive Teaser Collection Edition, 5 CDs on Samsung Records, fold out cover, and this actually does have a little booklet in it. Again, with lots of Photoshop. I wish they wouldn't do that. Hardly any information in it at all, but it does give you credits on the back. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. That's better. So you can see what the tracks are, and it features the whole album remastered, plus some outtakes, and also alternative outtakes. And the mix on this is absolutely stunning. It also comes with Great Gypsy Soul, which is where lots of famous guitarists such as Steve Morse, Steve Lukather, Brad Whitford, Glenn Hughes, Joe Bonamassa play along with the master tracks from Teaser. It's a single. The one I've got here is a single disc because I've picked up the wrong roll in the wrong order. And there is actually a 2 CD version which you get with this box set of the Ultimate Teaser thing. So this one has far more tracks. I think what this has on it that's absolutely incredible is Marching Powder, which they've renamed Marching Bag, which is basically some literally 10-minute instrumentals of the Marching Powder track from the Teaser album. Tommy Bolin obviously just loved jamming, and this is fantastic. So is that the end of the story? Not quite, because there's this. This is what came out quite recently. Let's give myself a bit more reading. And this is a Tommy Bolin 40th anniversary vinyl edition box set. This also came with a double album CD album called The Best of Live, which has lots of rare tracks on it, plus Post Toasty from Live from Albany, which is cool. And inside this box is another booklet where the guy who obviously owns a copy of Photoshop has again got absolutely carried away. Size 18 font, which on the booklet, so plenty to see, but on the actual album you've got, on the vinyl album, it's basically there's 2 tracks aside, and they're really long versions. Flying Fingers is an outtake, Wild Dogs 13 minutes, so it's taken from that other CD, but you know, if you're into vinyl, I'll just take one out so you get an idea. 180 gram at least, I would think, because it doesn't bend at all. And there you have it. This is side E. Doesn't tell you what's on it, but you have to look at the box for that. But good pressing, and you know, if you're a fan of Teaser, which obviously you can tell that I am, then that is the version to get. So that's the one. 5 CDs, includes a live disc. Sorry, no, it doesn't. I'm going to confuse myself now. This is the one that has the outtakes, the proper remastered Teaser album, plus that CD where various guitarists are kind of having a go at playing with Tommy as if he was still here. So that's the version to get. Obviously, if you can get a copy on Atlantic Records, brilliant, or you can get this one, which is the recent vinyl edition. So thanks so much, and thank you for watching.